game.
Yeah, and you know what? Hyde carrying from the jungle is something that might have seemed a little outlandish, but it's actually something that's very possible to do. Kakal's showing it off, and Spirit's showing it off currently in Katowice. So lots to look at here for both these teams. But IG versus GT Game 1's Champs League is now underway. IG will start on the blue side, Gamtee on the red, John Azeret there, smart bans from IG, and another very essential respect ban of the Ari by GT.
Yeah, so getting that away from Rookie. I like the fact that IG got rid of the Janna. We mentioned that Sync Dream looked good on the champion with the peel, the disengage, and that's something that both Zatai and Kakao won't want to have to deal with. So just get rid of that, remove the option from the board. Yeah,
it's going to take that away there. Try and give Tail a little less protection. Another good respect ban here, targeted at Kakao this time around with the Nidalee being banned away from the jungle. So I like the bans here from Gamtee, clearly respecting the strong champions of IG's strong players, and IG honestly doing the same.
Yeah, exactly right. And you see LeBlanc being taken away. Don't want to first pick that one. And Rookie giving some respect back to Xiaohu. We see that he's pretty confident taking the Ari matchup in, but with that not available, just doesn't want to have to deal with it.
Yeah, Ari LeBlanc are two very strong mid laners, and both of these players actually have had a lot of success on either of those champions. Rookie especially on his Ari, and Xiaohu, of course, on the LeBlanc. That does kind of shred the mid lane pool a little bit. Very curious to see what Xiaohu picks up, but his champion pools looked a little shallow at times, and Rookie's is actually quite large.
Yeah, Rookie can play nearly anything in there, and we see the Hecarim being taken away from Zatai. That does leave the Gnar up. Has been slightly nerfed, but did look like Zatai's best champion so far, as we see some different hovers coming through.
Yeah, Zatai just having a little bit of fun here. Lissandra's open as well, although she's seen significantly less play this weekend.
Yeah, she certainly has, and it's just, I don't know the specific reasoning behind it. Still wave clears very well, still can lock down the AD in a very strong AD region, so is something that maybe they can cheat towards here. They play it in the mid lane. Rookie's a very good Lissandra player, actually, so
yeah,
see whether they pick that one up.
Yeah, a little surprised to not see it, but there is probably the overall first pick for the weekend. Rek'Sai is going to go over to Kakao.
Yeah, and it seems to be Rek'Sai and Nidalee are the two really strong junglers currently on this patch, so if you get rid of one, you do give up the other. Will also force Huey onto a different champion, I guess. Maybe something along the lines of the Lee Sin to be picked up there, and we see a lot of different hovers coming through. Wouldn't be surprised to see Let Me on the last really huge tank available.
Yeah, Makai, I guess, is the common tank played. No one except for, I guess, Aluka and in some games, Amazing Jay and Flandre have played Silence so far in the LPL, so not going to have that tank. But GT can just take some very strong, good front line here if they do want to go for it. Looks like they'll lock it in at this stage. Very nice duo to kick off their drop. Do change one of it. Makai, though, the tank in the top lane. And actually, Ezreal there for the flex pick.
Yeah, so the flex pick in Ezreal coming through. Maybe Xiaohu in the mid lane, maybe Tail. They want to take it away from Rookie as well, so not give him that. Kid, of course, can play Ezreal as well quite successfully. And that really opens up the draft for Gamtee. They haven't committed towards anything, and wow, straight away the Victor.
Yeah, Rookie knows exactly what he wants, just locks in the Victor, and IG might even just confirm their solo lanes here as well. They don't have to again, because Maokai probably in the top lane. Haven't seen the support Maokai ever since Low has been put on the bench for OMG recently, but I mean, this would make sense. It's Zatai's best looking champion that we've seen. He can make plays on it. He is going to take it. Gnar and Victor are 2 and 3 for IG.
So the reason I like this draft out of IG is that Victor's Gravity Field is a very poor initial CC and a fantastic follow-up CC. So you couple that with the fact that Rek'Sai has a knock-up and all the CC that comes through from Gnar, it all of a sudden opens up the chase out of IG, which has to be mentioned with Victor. Very bad when you dive onto him. Fantastic if he is able to spam out those spells and get, I guess, chaotic fights where he's not the main focus. So Rookie looking to use that to great effect, and so far they've got very good AoE on the side of Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, they do, as Gamtee will consider their next few picks here as well. Going to take a pretty defensive support for Sync Dream here. It looks like Morgana actually locked in, although can be moved around to other places, and they are going to go for the Jarvan for Huey. Yeah,
so Jarvan will be the last, I guess, remaining very strong early game jungle coming through. Lee Sin was available, but just doesn't provide the CC that something like a Jarvan does pre-6. And the terrain oscillation also very useful. And see what Invictus Gaming want to round out their team comp here with. It will be the bottom lane, and maybe something like Corki get that away from Tail, although Lucian currently the hover.
Yeah, I mean, starting to see a bit more play as well. For me, mentioning junglers just quickly there as well. Very odd that Vi has seen significantly less play this weekend, but a lot of the LPL junglers don't seem to like that champion very much, interestingly. So, going to be the Jarvan instead for Gamtee. But IG, Kid's going to do it again. He's been playing it all weekend. Kalista for his AD carry, and Kid is going to get Thresh.
Yeah, so the Kalista Thresh lane, we've seen that this can be extremely strong out of the likes of Candy and Love CD, and see if Invictus Gaming can have the same success with it, and might even mean that the Lucian with the rise of Kalista, Lucian seeing much more play because of how you can weave your spells and get good favorable trades. Kalista always going to be in range, that short range, but just ability to hop around and not really the need to hit any skill shots with Lucian. More of a point-click AD carry, and is short range, but will look to take that one in, it looks like. So overall, a very good AoE comp coming out of Invictus Gaming, and maybe a bit of fast push coming out of Gamtee.
Yeah, so double AP there for Gamtee. It's kind of an interesting comp for them to fight with. We've definitely seen teams use this style of composition. Well, I think it might have been... Was it Gamtee that did this? They had the Ezreal comp. One of the teams had Jarvan and Ezreal and just did all sorts of magical AoE from the mid lane. It might have been World Elite. I think it was Gamtee, though, who's played this sort of comp before. And if that was them, if my memory is serving me correctly, really strong stuff here for Gamtee. Deceptively good team fighting comp.
Yeah, they certainly do. And I guess it all comes down to how you layer the AoE ultimates coming through from both your AD carries once they've picked up their first 2 big items and get them going that way. Ezreal needs to transform, needs the Trinity Force to really get going.
Yeah, we'll see how that matchup lines up. We've already seen Victor Ezreal this weekend, actually. Victor coming head ahead in that particular instance. This is the jungle matchup I'm sure we'll see a lot of, though. Cacao back on Rex. I think, at least in the last few weeks, his most played and best performing jungler. So nice to see it there. And Rookie, you already wanted the Victor. He just snapped it up.
Yeah, he snapped up the Victor. Blind picked it, actually. Very confident taking that one in. We see the Kalista versus Lucian bottom lane. I actually give this one to Lucian in the 1v1. See how it goes with the supports being added in there, because, of course, it will be the Thresh versus Morgana.
Yeah, I have to agree as well. And for me, Lucian is kind of just a response to the popularity of Kalista and Corki. He's very good in both those matchups.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I like the fact that with all of these late game hyper carries coming back, everyone has kind of dug back into the memory bank and said, hey, we dealt with this successfully before. There's this really good mid-game carry called Lucian, and he can still siege up and team fight very well.
Yeah, well, let's see what Lucian does. We're going to get into the game. And we're on to the Rift here for our first game in the best of 2 between Invictus Gaming and Gamtee. Rookie riding out majestically on the Victor here. And Gamtee grouped as 5 here, looking to get some deep wards down potentially.
Yeah, maybe even a pick with Sync Dreams Morgana. Of course, that CC level 1, very devastating. Will be spotted coming through here by Rookie, and you'll see the rest of the team shortly behind, so no funny business going on.
Sync Dream just going to use a few autos there, collect some gold from the Spell Thief, steal that away here, and Gamtee just going to get some wards down here. Probably trying to sniff out a lane swap here from IG, because they would love the 2v2 matchup.
Yeah, they certainly would, and very sneaky from Rookie, actually looping around behind and getting a ward at the entrance. So we'll see them leaving as well. No response yet coming through from Invictus Gaming, so they look content to leave their duo lane bottom, regardless of whether it's a lane swap or not.
Yep, I mean, Invictus Gaming laned a lot, actually, with his Kalista. It's safe-ish, I think. I mean, Lucian can definitely bully in the lane, but curious to see how the matchup shakes out. I think the surprising thing about Lucian is that he's just quite good in a late-game team fight.
Yeah, he certainly is, and I really like Lucian with the Infinity Edge and Phantom Dancer changes. Just fantastic with attack speed, really performs well with crit because of that passive as well. So definitely agree that he's a good late game carry and really has one of the cleaner curves out of ADs. You have to throw Graves in there as well, but probably the 2 best.
Yeah, actually, we are going to have the swap here. So Gamtee may be predicting IG to swap, but they're already sitting in the bottom side of the map. So we are going to have Ezreal versus Victor in the mid lane. Huey will start over on his blue buff. Cacao will do the same here, but Zatai's going to be in a 1v2 once again.
Yeah, so Zatai in a 1v2, and we've seen this happen a lot. Teams just wanting to pick on Zatai, and they're actually giving one of the little Krugs over to Kid for a little bit of a gold boost and helped freeze the lane through sending the support down there, but Zatai in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, getting caught up there will take a lot of burst damage, actually getting quite low. Well, Zatai, but he will be safe. They did use his flash, sorry, so that's something to burnt out and has to take a couple potions.
Yeah, so that's very bad news. Once again, going the aggressive start, has that longsword, doesn't have a Duran shield. Might need to look to see if he can pick up the gold needed and get back and grab one ASAP, because Lucian's passive starts to build up.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I like about this lane especially, is that Morgana, whenever you hit a binding, unlike Graves, Lucian is almost always able to find a way to get in range for his Q.
Yeah, it certainly is able to get in there, whether it's through creeps, whether it's actually the Q itself. Very good at following up with damage and just combos very nicely. As we see mid lane, Rookie trying to bully Xiaohu out, but Xiaohu using his abilities, starting to push that lane, and Cacao getting extremely low in the jungle on Rek'Sai.
Yeah, we'll smite the red buff, of course. Very scary to see some of these junglers get quite aggressive with their runes and masteries and get low in the lane, but Zhao having a fine time here in the mid, which makes a lot of sense. Ezreal's such a strong early laner.
Yeah, he certainly is, especially in the mid lane where you can just fire all your abilities at the creeps to build up the passive and then auto-attack, harass over the top if you want to. And we see a very big push coming in. Now Kitty's joining Zatai, trying to secure some of this farm for his top laner. And Zatai, after that big wave hits, will be completely fine.
Yeah, which is nice. And I like that Kitty's is doing a bit of babysitting there as well. That does leave Kid in the bottom lane now against Lightme, but Kalista should be totally fine there.
Yeah, Kalista does well against melee top laners, and you see no Duran's shield picked up in that lane either, so it will be a very similar story. And they're actually looking for Zatai to be dove here. Dodged the Dark Binding, which cut off any dive coming through, and Zatai actually zoned very far off the turret.
Yeah, but Gamtee doing a nice thing here, using Lucian's early pushing ability and really laying into the turret early on. We see this a lot with Graves, now with Lucian as well.
Yeah, it certainly looks like they're going for a fast push, whereas the freezes come through from Kid in that lane. To the point now where Maokai's roaming, looking for a bit of a gank, has got that level 3, the Twisted Advance available. 3 people in the mid lane on top of Rookie.
Yeah, Rookie could be in a whole host of trouble. Actually walks around to wall, but he's going to find Let Me here. The sapling goes in, Twisted Advance as well. Arcane smash back, the knock-up just missing there, but Zhao doesn't have quite enough damage on the Q. Needs to snipe him if he can. Kakao, though, good knock-up there and gets Rookie to safety.
Yeah, so Rookie burns 2 Summoner spells, but in the end, it was the Summoner spell out of Fenghui as well, so traded back. Good early damage coming through from Xiaohu, getting a lot of poke down, but won't mean anything. And Zatai burning the teleport, actually, to get back to lane. Continuing the aggression, going for an early, maybe Phage.
Nope, gets caught, though, as well there by the bounce. Now the damage will come in, and Tail with the black shield on. Just no qualms at all about harassing him.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't. You see Kakao going for Huey.
Actually going in there, Kid now here as well. The flash hook gonna land, hits the wolf, though, and Huey with no flash can't do anything. Kakao flashes and gets first blood.
Yeah, able to secure that first blood, getting Kakao rolling, just understood the fact that Huey's flash was down, able to trade that without a worry, and Rookie trading in the mid lane extremely well.
Yeah, really nice stuff from Kakao, though. Love to see him again be more aggressive, be more proactive. Knowing the flash was down, just hunts down the enemy jungler. And now on the bottom side here, Let Me actually has to be very careful. Level 3 Maka Kitties nails the hook there. Kakao tunnels in, knocks him up there, gets played back as well. Kitties gets low. Let Me actually gets the trade kill. Very well played.
Yeah, Kakao picks up another kill for himself. Doesn't give it over to his AD carry, but that is a lot of CS. Even though Let Me got the best possible, I guess, outcome in trading kills, still loses out on all of the experience coming through, and you can see he's level 4, but that was maybe 3 waves now at the turret crashing in.
Yeah, and Zatai again with all the pushing starting to catch up or keep up in CS here in the top side of the map. He's again building quite aggressively, going for maybe even a Phage once the inevitable swap back happens, but right now, Tails is trying to get that tower down as soon as possible.
Yeah, certainly is trying to get the early gold advantage. Bad thing is, though, you have Kakao, who has got a very good lead in the early game and will look to maybe even punish the pushing coming through because he is that kind of player. So needs to be careful that he doesn't get overzealous in his pushing and overcommit.
And again, Kakao off to a good start, which is what we want to see from his jungling. Going to look for a very early warrior enchant here as well, so can continue to be aggressive. And again, still looking in, just always training towards the enemy jungle, but a binding in the middle hits Rookie. Going to get bound up there as well. The ultimate, comes through for Zhao. Kakao in the middle, but a little too late.
Yeah, and you just see how much damage comes out from that mid Ezreal as soon as the ultimate goes across, able to explode Rookie, and he had both summoner spells still down.
He did, as well as Tail continuing to try and push in to the top side as well. He's almost got his ulti, so that will make the pushing even faster, but still hasn't quite got the turret done here, and IG are continuing to freeze and give Kid CS in the bottom side.
Yeah, they're just trying to build Kid up, recognizing that he's not necessarily the quickest pusher, so using him, it actually goes over to Sync Dream. That's very frustrating for Kakao. We'll spot out a ward with that Raptor Sense, but we see in the bottom lane, the zone has got to the point now where a level 4 Maokai versus nearly a level 6 Zatai on Nah. They're going to have to swap back because it's just gone completely horrible for Maokai in this matchup.
And I mean, at least thankfully, it was not the Phage. It's actually just a straight Giant's Belt here for Zatai. But again, 10 CS ahead here. Let Me's going to swap back into a position that he's not going to be very happy about.
Yeah, so Let Me still a little bit down, but Zatai's going to see Let Me and go, I wish I had bought that Phage.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, oh, let's swap him back now. Yeah, would have been a great time for it, but still with a level and a half up at least, possibly 2 levels at this point. Because Zatai is going to push in, try and do some damage. Let Me finally gets a little bit of CS and experience, but he's going to struggle now in the matchup.
Yeah, he certainly is, and you see Zatai still not giving him any breathing room, trying to harass under that turret. interested to see whether they do send Kakao up there to even maybe dive Let Me and continue to hold him down.
We'll see now as Rek'Sai going to use the first ulti of the game here for herself. Kakao just going over to the Wolves, probably going to donate the blue buff over as well. We have Swap back in the standard lanes, of course. We've got a BF sword versus a recurve bow plus Berserker Greaves is sort of the interesting purchases, but Kalista just wants to stay up and get the Hurricane as soon as possible.
Yeah, just wants to have the ability to be able to use that passive, hop around, and we see actually Lucian going towards the Dragon area, clearing out the Scuttle Crab for himself, trying to just get vision over that. They recognize that Kakao is the person with the kills so far, and he'll want to use that to secure objectives for his team, just not letting him do so.
Yes, especially since they've swapped back down the Dragon now, a big objective in the minds of both teams. So smart for Gamtee to take the Scuttle Crab quickly before they can get it. But Kakao has finished up his Warrior in chat now as well. Slightly ahead of Huey's Jarvan here as far as aggressive items go, although there are boots won already, and Kakao might look to affect another lane here.
Yeah, so he needs to look to get in because, as we mentioned, the gold lead that does exist, only 200 at this point, but all of that is on Kakao. And in the mid lane, Zhao, who's starting to really ramp up with his Ezreal, will be going for the Mana Mune first, not going for the Trinity Force, and that means, yeah, Trinity Force will be delayed, but that will be an extremely early transform.
Yeah, and once he hits those two items, especially when the transform and the Trinity Force comes through, so much mid-game power coming through for the Ezreal. Actually reminds me a lot of, I guess, old school Season 4 Jace.
Yeah, it certainly is a very similar feel to it, and we see getting going in this mid lane, completely free farming. Rookie's had to go back. He's got double Duran's Ring and the first Death Ray augmentation done for himself on Victor. So we'll have no problem shoving out the lane, but still doesn't have much kill threat.
No, and I mean, blue buff here, just wave clearing up. We see this a lot with Victor. Actually, is Kakao going to find Zhao, who but takes a little too much damage. Arcane Chief aggressively forward. Kakao tunnels out. The gravity field will keep him safe. And Kitty's just sort of roaming back in there, but taking a lot of damage through as well. Though the Cataclysm actually used there by Jarvan to get the first kill for Zhao, but so much damage going through. So Tai going to port back down and hop in and get the next kill there, but not mega enough from Zhao, still doing a lot of damage. The Tai flashes up, but dies to Let Me knock up there. Kakao hits on a lot of people there. Rookie, though, cleaning up with damage. Now Kid bopping in onto the tail to try and clean him up. Kakao running out of the way, and Rookie hungry for blood, still wants more kills. Let Me actually walks a little too forward to the rest of IG, and that's a big win there for Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, so they're able in the end, I think, to go 3 for 2 in total, losing their support and top laner, but they keep all their damage threats alive, which means if they want, they can start up the Dragon. That looks like it's going to be the call, and Kakao 3-0-1, having a brilliant early game.
Yeah, and again, we talk about Kakao needing the good starts, needing to get going early, and he's got ahead here. The first Dragon does indeed go over to Invictus Gaming, and a lot of it is on the back of Kakao's Rek'Sai.
Yeah, it certainly is, and he really is flying at this point in the game. You can see 1,300 gold sitting in his back pocket. We'll be able to go back and grab the boots too. Kid also managed to pick up 4 assists for himself in there, as we might see exchange.
Yeah, good hook lands there, but a better binding for Syncjim, and Kitties probably wants to think twice about that trade.
Yeah, and Lucian, you see how much damage he does just with the BF sword coming through there. That was an absolutely mammoth trade, and that will make Kitties think about engaging anytime soon.
Yeah, have to be careful. Again, Morgana, usually quite a defensive support, but can get very aggressive in this sort of Lucian lane.
Yeah, certainly can, and we see Zatai and Kakao heading into the top lane. Want to continue to keep Let Me down. Let Me spotted him out, but Kakao maybe go for a trade.
Yeah, doesn't quite get under him for the knock up there. It's a tie not quite in position, so we'll give it up in that instance. Could look for a dive. Mega Nut form's actually coming through, and Huey immediately just sprinting towards the top half of the map.
Yeah, and we actually see the second augmentation coming through for Rookie on the Victor item. We've seen this happen fairly often with Victors, that there are a few different routes you can go, and it looks like he will be going for maybe even the perfect Hex Core before anything else comes through.
Maybe we'll have to keep track, but he does have the Q and the E augmented already. Kakao fires out a Prey Seeker looking for Huey, but can't quite find it there as the Death Ray just goes a little wide. Sync Dream going to clear out a pink towards the tie back. Now tied in mini Nar form. Fast hitting away and actually building up to almost a Randuin's here.
Yeah, so going very tanky early on in the game. 3 members top lane for IG, looking to once again continue to bully Let Me, but he's pretty tanky. I don't know whether they can. Rookie caught.
Yeah, binding hit, True Shot Barrage again. The damage is massive from Zhao. Huey runs in to dunk him, and Sync Dream claims the kill.
Yeah, and that's very unfortunate for Invictus Gaming. That's the lane that is really snowballing out of control. Zhao, who has a CS advantage and is 2-1-2, and they're continuing to go towards his top lane, try and get in Let Me's head as a tanky Maokai player, but he's in no threat whatsoever, has the wave clear to be able to deal with it, and you see Rookie's been caught out twice now.
And that's the biggest thing, Kakao. We talk about him needing good starts, but he has to put his focus in the right spots. Rek'Sai, such a good jungler at doing almost everything on the map, but Kakao's looked a little lost, honestly, in these ganks.
Yeah, he certainly has. He seems to be, I guess, looking for an answering gank because Zatai actually jumps to grab his boomerang there.
Sad mini, no. I mean, it's funny as well that we kind of talked about Syncdream wanting to stick more with some pure supports and really stick to Tail. Here on the Lucian, Tail doesn't have to worry at all about being on his own here, especially against Kalista. And Syncdream's actually been the reason why so many of the mid ganks have worked out. Here's Kakao going to run in towards the top lane, but Kitties misses the hook and Let Me just walks away.
Yeah, and again, 3 members visiting Maokai in the top lane. He's 2-2-0, and yeah, he's missing out in a little bit of CS, but they're not really denying him anything at this point. So that's the 3rd time they've been up there, 3rd time nothing's happened. And it really was Kitties that initiated this roaming game, and that's just playing straight into Syncdream's hands because no longer is it 2v1.
Exactly. I mean, Lucian, like we mentioned, totally fine in the 1v1 here. Syncdream's like, you're packing up? Yes. Sounds perfect. Let me leave with you here. And again, the bindings have hit Rookie twice now, and that's converted into 2 kills. Yeah,
it certainly has. And we see that's just meaning a more and more difficult mid-game coming through. The earlier this double AD composition can get going, the worse off IG will be. And potentially a dive in the bottom lane. Ping's furiously going out.
Yeah, it looks like there's 4 people there right now with Let Me still in the top lane, and that's how it will go down here. Lucian will pick up credit for the kill, and the first tower of the series will go to Gamtee.
Yeah, and maybe that's a fast push starting. They've got both the AD carries in that lane. Rookie trying to respond with some damage. You see Victor shooting out of his stuff as fast as possible. Kakao now joins him. They'll be able to pick that one up, but need to be careful they don't get collapsed on.
Yeah, looks like Syncdream going to line up a binding. Uses that a little early, but Flash ulti's right in there. The exhaust down as well. And Zhao looking to clean up, actually automating some creeps, but Kakao in trouble. Rookie, though, blows up Syncdream instead. And Zhao, who has to be a little more careful. Huey not quite in range for the ulti. Flashes in for it. Rookie now going to go in as well, but Zhao's trying to poke him out. A good escape there for Kitties as Atlanta comes in. A great play and knockback there. We'll move him in and get the kill onto Huey. Zhao, who somehow dodges that death sentence, and IG win the trade.
Yeah, very well played out of IG. Zatai wants in as well, looking to get aggressive, protecting that pink ward very importantly. Not able to get much out of it, and all in all, a 2 for nothing, and they equalize the turrets. IG even getting the more important one in that mid lane.
Yeah, really well played again by Kakao and Rookie. They're so good in any sort of skirmish in a 2v2 or 3v3, and it's that mid game that keeps IG and gives them leads, but they have to, again, be able to convert into late game fights.
Yeah, certainly do, and with something like a Victor, with something like a Rek'Sai, you can see exactly how the layering of CC works, so you have a little bit more confidence moving into this game in saying that they had Lee Sin and Yasuo pretty far ahead yesterday and weren't able to do much with it, so we'll have to see how it goes. And overall, this has been a very intriguing early game played out of IG. They've seemed to just focus as much free farm as they can onto their AD carry. We mentioned that Kid does get left alone to just scale up a lot of the time. Normally it's with Kitties, but this time around Kitties trying to make plays elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, kind of matching Syncdream's roaming that we were talking about, wanting to move around. To his credit, did an excellent job in the last exchange in mid lane there, helping IG escape with the 2 free kills and the tower safely. And Dragon's back up in 30 seconds. IG going to look for their second.
Yeah, and Kakao looking to just get some vision. Might face check a couple of members. Needs to be careful, but has the support he needs.
Your Dark Binding though does land in Zhao again, uses the ulti. Kakao actually walks past the lantern, thinks he's fast enough underground, and we'll get out to safety, but that was a little bit risky.
Yeah, it certainly was a little bit risky, but that's the ultimate burn from Ezreal. They have the mid lane pushing, so really not much Gamtee can do here to starve off the next dragon coming through. We'll need to be careful that they don't overcommit with Kakao a little bit low, but should be able to win this team fight still.
Yeah, Tail there just zips away using his E. Kitty's going to pop the sweeper there and clear out the ward, and IG again getting all the vision around this early dragon here, making sure they can get for the second. They're going to move in, and they should be able to claim it here. They've at least started it. Oh, look like it, but they'll back away a little bit, waiting for it to come out of
Yeah, they're waiting for the Naba to get a little bit of range. There is a good teleport behind. There it goes. It ties in.
Yeah, but the teleport there for Let Me's coming through. Kakao caught the wrong side. He does smite it away. The lantern gets into safety. Let Me, though, in the thick of it as Huey dives right in there. Tail does good damage there and takes that Rookie. Kakao gets a double knock him and Zatai in the Mega Knife bomb moving in, but he doesn't quite have the ulti. There's 2 pops in there. There's the first kill. Second almost coming through as Let Me just gets away. Now Kid roaming in as well. Tail actually caught him by a death sentence, but Zhao going in there gets the double, and Kitties has to run away. Kid there tagged by a mystic shot. Zhao moving back in the play just enough there. Box popped as well. Syncdream just misses the binding, but Zhao not done there. Snipes another for his 3rd, and that's a big win for Gamtee.
And that's a cooldown boots. They're not done. Syncdream looking for another tag. No, doesn't manage to get Kid. 4 for 1 in that team fight. Sure, IG got the dragon, might even lose a turret for it, but Kakao wants back in? No.
No, he wants to farm in the mid lane. He knows the tower's dead here. The tier 2 going to get knocked down by Gamtee. Hilariously, only the second tower of the game, but it's a tier 2.
Yeah, so able to pick up a huge team fight there, get gold even in their favor, up by 600 and 5-1 and 2 in their mid lane. He's having a fantastic game, and once again, it was all about Rookie being caught in that Cataclysm.
Yeah, Xiaohu just looking so good on this Ezreal every time he's played it. Plays around his team excellently here. You know, Tail come in, does some secondary damage, but Huey set up everything for the Ezreal well, and Rookie, I mean, we talk about Victor being a very mobile champion. He's got double mobility summoners. Cataclysm's pretty good at shutting off all that mobility.
Yeah, it certainly is, and really doesn't give you an area to be able to drop that ultimate either, so it needs to get on top of Tail. And this is another game where you think if IG are the ones initiating, if it is Kakao and Zatai going in for their teams, then it will be much more useful. But overall, it looks like if Huey is the one that gets the engage, it's going to be fantastic news for Gamtee.
Yeah, and Xiaohu's just so strong after that fight as well. 5-1 and 2 now. Trinity Force all done. Manamune about 500 mana through. So that big mid-game power spike that we talked about, it's going to be coming around the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, it certainly is. And we see Tail burning the ultimate out of Lucian, trying to push these turrets in. When you have the usefulness of using Xiaohu's ultimate and Tail's ultimate to just get rid of the minion wave as quickly as possible and continue to push, it's going to mean good things.
Yeah, and you know that double AD element of Gamtee's comp that we spoke about during the draft, it's really going to come into its own here. They're going to start just shoving down turrets as fast as they can, using the massive AoE ultimates to poke IG off their turrets.
Yeah, and look at the damage that comes through when there's not that minion wave there to support it. Kid at half health needs to get back, looks to try and even heal up, and Xiaohu continuing to look for kills, continuing to poke.
Yeah, dancing around over the death ray there as well. Tail going to help him push into Tai. Looks like he might get the turret here, but it's 4v4 in the mid side, and Gamtee is so strong right now.
Yeah, hook lands though.
Seek Dream has to be a bit careful, gets played back there, pops the Black Shield. Chaos Storm though, more than enough to pick up the kill, but they do get the tower. Gamtee will take the trade.
Yeah, so Gamtee take that trade, but what will it mean in response? Can Zatai grab top lane or maybe even force something in the mid? Doesn't look like it. Let me doing a great job of starving off this mini Gnar.
Yeah, actually, there's still wave clearing out Zatai. Eventually, we'll get the turret there. Let me not quite able to clear fast enough there. Kid going to pop down to the bottom side as well. Maybe try and get a turret for himself. Kakao's even looking aggressively. Might even try to dive Tail between the turrets.
Yeah, so Tail was looking to rotate to pick out that farm. Sense something was wrong, able to get away from it. So it will mean that they pick up 2 turrets for 1. So overall, in the favor of Invictus Gaming. And this has really turned into who can position themselves around the map better and get themselves into a turret pushing situation.
Yeah, this turret scores all even now. We already talked about Victor wanting to get in and put sieges, and IG looking for fights, and Gamtee, double AD definitely want to be looking for some sieges. But right now, even on turrets here at 3 for 3, Gamtee looking fine here. I mean, Let Me Zatai still continuing to farm up here. We've got Righteous Glory done for Let Me, looking for a Warden's Mail, I have to think, and then a Randuin's already done for Zatai.
Yeah, so Zatai just continuing to stack that armor, needs to be the huge tank dealing with these backline ADs, and you feel that with how it's been set up, might be able to get himself in that position. Let Me, once again, seems to be the focus. Kakao going in there, finds Sync Dream.
Yeah, Sync Dream has to be a bit careful, but Kakao, though, will tunnel out from the enemy side of the jungle towards the Baron Pit. Dragon back in a minute 40. Remember that Gamtee don't have a dragon yet, so it would be the 3rd for IG if they were able to pick it up. Transform done for Xiaohu now as well, so that next dragon fight that Gamtee want to contest for, they have so much power.
Yeah, they certainly do, and they're at a point now where their AD carries, if they get onto the squishy backline, will just do work. And saying that double Randuin's Omen, so a good frontline setup for IG, looking to maybe try and zone them away from the fight. The pickup for me that will determine this next fight is the fact that Zhonya's has been finished for Rookie. If they dive onto him, should be able to get his combo down, and Zhonya's, and hopefully that will be enough for him to survive. A lot of pressure on Kid to do consistent damage. And wow, Zatai, the quick Thornmail coming through. Not as much health as he might like, but he's pretty hard to deal with in Mega Gnar form.
Yeah, he really is, and we've seen Zatai actually one of the better mini Gnars, interestingly enough, as far as players go, but he's real tanky right now. You know, skip the fade, just had a longsword for early laning, and going to walk in towards the top. I'm going to keep Let Me off his top tower, but this next dragon's coming up very soon, and IG are also poised to fight. We had 2 items done for Kalista also.
Yeah, so Kalista has those 2 items. Probably go towards the Last Whisper as the next to try and deal with Maokai, who's also picked up the Frozen Heart. That seems to be the item of choice against these Kalistas. Try and slow them down a little bit. And really will be all about execution pastry time. Everyone's finished up the items they want. Maybe Last Whisper to come next as well for Ezreal, and that will complete off his 3-item spike nice and early. Still 700 gold up, and looks like both teams jockeying for position, neither willing to pull the trigger.
Yeah, Kid actually going to steal away the Grumpy very efficiently, and IG can do the Dragon very quickly with their Kalista, so that's a consideration for Gamtee, but Mikhail's done it for Sync Dream as well. So many good tools for both teams.
Yeah, and they start up the Dragon. Looks like the fight going to come through. Zetai's got the transform.
Yeah, he's actually managed to rage very well. They're now Mega Knife form. IG should be able to get their third Dragon. No, Jarvan gets in and seals it. Zetai gets shredded there by Tail. Does get the ulti off, but it might not be enough. Fenghui flashes out there. Rookie, though, does pop the Chaos Storm and his Zhonya's, but he's still taking damage. Kakao in the backline, ripping through people, but great bindings from Sync Dream, keeping them in it. Fate's Call there, pops a couple up, but Let Me dives in onto Kid. He's locked down for long enough, can't do anything, and now Kitty's going to get shredded. A 5-for-2 fight. Gamtee with an ace.
And you really think that was Zetai not going over the wall soon enough? He had the transform and continued to try and zone. They flew in, got the Dragon, and then Zetai died before he really was able to get a great ultimate across. Once again, really well played out of Xiaohu. He's 7-1-5 now. We'll have that Last Whisper when he goes back, and that was all sorts of bad.
Yeah, Xiaohu was the shining light in that team fight for sure here. Zetai actually very aggressive. Let Me will ulti onto in the binding. We'll get blocked by a minion, so Zetai hops away to safety. Now Kakao going to move in with the ulti, but he's going in the well and truly opposite direction. And again, 7-1-5 for the Ezreal. Xiaohu didn't even need to use his cleanse in that fight.
Yeah, so Xiaohu didn't really have to use all that was at his, I guess, disposal to get rid of that. The Mikhail's was enough, and you saw what won that fight probably was Huey. Held his ultimate until the Zhonya's was over and still locked up Rookie. Rookie's having no room to move in these fights and really is getting picked on for picking that immobile carry so early in the draft.
Yeah, we talk about Victor, very strong, but mostly short-range mage when it comes to doing a lot of damage, and they often build for mobility. That's true here for the Q augment for Rookie, but when he gets locked up, like you mentioned, nothing he can do. Yeah,
and we keep talking about it. Victor, one of those champions, if you got hard engaged, can lay a CC, he's so good, which is why it's confusing that IG weren't willing to engage that fight. They let Gamtee one more time engage onto them. They have all the tools. They have the Thresh, the Fate's Call, not to mention Rek'Sai and Nah. They should be able to get in there and really start mixing it up. But Gamtee, at every point in the game, has picked when they wanted to fight and won it.
Yeah, we have to highlight Xiaohu, honestly, here. I mean, Tail's doing respectable damage. I actually love the build that he's gotten here, just going for efficient damage to complement, honestly, the main carry here, which is this Ezreal.
Yeah, it certainly is. And look, there's double Randuins and a Thormail on the front line. That's who you're most likely going to be hitting with Lucian. So very nice. You don't really need the attack speed because of the Light Slinger passive. So definitely agree that that's a good build to go in the current situation. And Zetai actually going for a Hex Drinker maybe now. Needs to pick himself up some health.
Yeah, I mean, the Warmog's probably his first port of call as far as flat health goes. I mean, he can get very big here. Fight those broken out. Kakao kind of caught out, but Sync Dream going to go down to Rookie. Let Me dives in onto Zetai there. Xiaohu cutting in a great another wallop in and the Chaos Storm, and just so much damage. Kitty's getting thrown in as well, but Xiaohu's doing way too much damage as Kid goes down. Kitty's going to fall as well, and Gamtee turn it around for another ace. Rookie has to be careful. Xiaohu chasing him with double buff. The death ray comes in. The Zhonya's will land, but Rookie nowhere to go, and there's another ace.
An ace and a 9-1-8 Ezreal. That will probably be game, honestly, for Gamtee. The fast push will pick up the Baron buff at only 26 minutes in. Might just be a formality from here unless a Miracle Steal can come through, but what an absolute beautiful team fight. IG finally get one they think they can win, but not able to pull it off. Kakao going to be too late.
Yeah, he's well and truly too late there. It does back off, though, instead of getting killed. The empowered recalls that will get Gamtee back to base very swiftly. So much gold to spend after all the treasure they have won from the last few fights. A BF sword done for Xiaohu going full offense here, and this Ezreal is just taking over the game.
Yeah, he certainly is. I guess the only real saving grace here is that it will get to the point where they get tanky enough to deal with the W8D. The only problem is that's about 20 minutes in the future from now, and doesn't look like Invictus Gaming going to be able to make it that far. Their front line on Gamtee, able to deal with what Kid is throwing out, and Rookie just keeps getting caught out of position. Really does look like a fantastic game coming through.
And again, that last fight, so much good CC setup here, but Kid just couldn't get in position, kind of had to hop awkwardly around terrain towards the carries, and both Tail and Xiaohu blow up Kalista at this point.
Yeah, exactly right. And Xiaohu's willing to skirt the edge of the fight, and because he's so strong 1v1, can really challenge any of the carries to a duel right now. And if there's not a tank to deal with it, who are looking currently at Tail, they really aren't able to do anything. And you see that cannon minion's still alive doing work to that turret, although the buff is back on because no one's in range.
Yep, does finally take it out. The good hook there from Kitties sets up the death ray there for Rookie, but Kakao now going to move in, try and clear out some vision, maybe look for a flank, but Gamtee, they will eat these structures if IG let them.
Yeah, they certainly will. You'd see how much damage, and that's why Kakao is looking for the team fight, wants to get in there, but there's some nice wards on the side, spotting out the flank, so Kakao needs to start from a little bit further back, not going to be able to get it, and there's still so much gold available on this map. Top lane still has 2 turrets up.
Yeah, great deep wards from Gamtee, like you mentioned. Not going to get surprised there by Kakao's Rek'Sai Dragon. Back here in 52 seconds, that will be Gamtee's second and IG's third after the steal away from Huey at that last Dragon fight. Even an ultimate used there by Zhao to potentially get some far more push in the waves, and Gamtee just looking complete control, 5,000 gold ahead at this point.
Yeah, they certainly are, and level 16 nearly has been achieved for Xiaohu in the mid lane, so that ultimate going to be doing supreme work, especially with that BF swords picked up. Really not much IG can do at this part of the game apart from stall and really hope that they can drag it late.
And they do have good wave clear, which is nice. Victor especially has fantastic long-range wave clear with the death ray, but I don't know if that's going to be enough here. Gamtee push very efficiently. The Baron buff, maybe not the best purchase out of that, but they do have a little bit of it left, and looks like they more importantly want to secure the next dragon for themselves.
Yeah, it certainly looks like that. Kakao once again looking for the flank. Might have been spotted out, however.
I think he has been spotted. Oh, no, getting it. Zhao getting a face check. Kakao knocks him up to the tie. Can't get over the wall, though. Kakao little too deep into enemy territory. The lantern is enough, actually. Huey used the ultimate there to try and kill him, but Sigtrim goes in massively there with the flash ulti. Let me follows in onto Zatai with the snare, and Tail going to follow up into Zatai. Forced to bounce out now in Meganar form. Now going to keep following in. Let me again onto Rookie, who just gets blown up and is forced to use the Zonyas. Zatai going to be the next one. Rides out again on another lantern. Zatai finally going to go down the ulti. Good there from Rookie, but not enough damage, and IG throw everything at Gamtee and they shake it off.
Yeah, and Kid once again was just not there. They lose the tie. Kakao was in way too deep, and they're just, every single time a team fight starts, looking for Rookie, looking for the main carry, making sure they've got him under control. They pick up their second dragon, and that seems to be the recipe to beat this IG lineup. Control Rookie, control the game.
And it makes sense. To Kakao and Rookie, we talk about them so much as a strong duo here. And I have to agree with the main carry thing. Kid's a fine Kalista player, and his items are okay, but all of the Ren set action by Kalista is set up by Rookie and his Chaos Storm. If he gets picked off, doesn't matter how much CC or damage you have, GT just have more with their double AD.
Yeah, they certainly do, and especially with their double ADs at just way too much power coming out at this point. The QSS has been finished up. They're even happy with their damage. Can go for the luxury 4th item, defensive item. No lifesteal coming through, just winning the team fights up front.
Yeah, and I think that Xiaohu might even turn that BT into into a BT, a Bloodthirster here. Could go for IE, has the options. We're very curious to see what he wants to do because he's got a lot of gold banked up now, but he is going to go for the very powerful option. It is Bloodthirster.
Yeah, so Bloodthirster just supplements all the poke that can come out of this Ezreal. Also helps with the pushing power, so very good pickup. Gives him a little bit of a defensive option as well because of the fact that we'll have that shield to continue, and they push in now into the top lane, trying to get the last remaining turret.
Yeah, take the outer turret that they somehow haven't picked up despite having a Lucian and an Ezreal, but they'll kind of get it as a formality. Here, Xiaohu gets double buffs again here as he takes away the red. And this Ezreal, we talked about before, full hard carry mode, and he said he could duel anyone. BT is going to make any 1v1 here just impossible.
Yeah, and look, once again, over the side.
1v3 right now. Dodges a hook. Huey, they're going to follow him in, and that's another lantern out for Kakao. Let me pops the ulti. Huey diving in onto Zatai, gets slowed down by the Boomerang. Kid gets locked up there, but hops out with martial points. Kitties, though, taking a lot of damage. Does get Fates called out now. Kakao going to go bound. Xiaohu over the wall. The stun there lands into Zatai, trying to make it happen, but Xiaohu still untouched. Taking a 1v1 Kid off to the side. Rookie gets low as well. Kakao, though, can't do anything. Rookie forced to run away. Gamtee still chasing chasing there and get the jungler. Tail gets the double, and Xiaohu again, just so good.
Yeah, and Rookie trying to run for his life. Now they take out the fourth member there. Xiaohu picking that one up, and that was nearly the perfect fight for Invictus Gaming. They're just too far behind.
Yeah, Xiaohu did manage to get out, but still got stunned over the wall, and it just didn't matter here. IG might have been looking to tap the mat. No, Gamtee will push them in, and IG are going to make them finish, but Let Me's chasing poor Victor away. Rookie can't get back to help Wave here, and the base is now broken.
Yeah, so base is broken, is a top turret, so probably the easiest to defend, you do have to say, but that's grasping at straws to find positivities. Both people taking the gate out of the base.
Yep. Flashing over the gate, no worries there as Let Me will actually steal away the red buff here, slowly but surely on the Maokai. Chunk that one away. Rookie, will return to the bottom side of the map. Clear the minions very efficiently there with the death ray. But again, IG, they keep setting up good-looking fights, and Gamtee is too far ahead. Yeah,
so that was all about Zatai getting a very good start to that team fight, but isn't tanky enough. Even has less gold still than Kakao, and Kakao really is trying to get to the point where he can be up in their face, but with the 2 last Whispers finished, with everything else being done, just impossible. You even see another Brutalizer coming out of Xiaohu, just looking for all that flat pen, recognizes they only have AD threat, probably going for the Black Cleaver.
I love that choice as well. Not selfish at all, not going for a big Infinity Edge as the last item. Doesn't need a defensive item either, apparently, just the Bloodthirster being enough there as a semi-defensive item, and that's going to help Tails damage out a lot. And we've already seen Xiaohu doing a lot by himself, but Tails scaled up now as well.
Yeah, Tails certainly in a good position, has got another BF sword for himself, looking to push these waves out, chunks out Kitties, who now has to return to base, and this might even be mid lane turret going down.
Rookie just taking so much damage. Ulti is going to hit, and Rookie very lucky to be alive after that exchange. Huey happily face tanking the turret now. So not even that tanky, honestly, with just a giant spell and a Randy ones, but Gamtee, another inhibitor turret down. The mid inhib falls shortly after.
Yeah, so even though not that tanky, they just kill waves that quickly that it doesn't even matter. Able to crush through that turret. Now looking towards the Baron area. Kakao needs the Miracle Steal. If they're able to pick up the steal, they might be able to stall out the game with some minion waves, but 11-1-11 Ezreal, 7-1-9 Lucian. It's just everything backs against the wall.
Yeah, good presence of mind for Kakao, already set up for the steal, so good foresight there, but Gamtee are trying to bait IG into it, and IG cannot look for a fight here.
Yeah, the reason they can't go anywhere near it is the fact that their base has super creeps in it. They're going to continue to push in on those turrets. They'll only tank up one, and it really is up to Kakao. They've pinged him out.
Yeah, they've spotted him after the Scrying Orb, I believe, used in as Kakao will tunnel out of the way, but everyone else going to find him. He will take a very long series of tunnels out, gets the subway out from the Baron pit.
Yeah, so able to get out of Baron, but that is the fight.
Huey goes in there, views the Cataclysm, ulti there moved in as well, so Loki gets popped, but it's not enough there as Xiaohu claims the first kill onto Thresh, now chasing in there, Kakao caught in, they're going to get the double knock up there onto Huey and Xiaohu, but there's the double coming through. Rookie forced to use the Zhonya's early, Xiaohu just destroys him and grabs the triple, running in for the last 2 kills, seeing if he can claim the Penta, but Gamtee might just take the game instead.
Yeah, they certainly will. Xiaohu's still going. No, the mat is tapped. IG surrender it up 35 minutes in, 14,000 gold.
And Xiaohu, there he is, big smile on his face, and I would be too. 14-1-11 on Ezreal, putting on one hell of a show for his fans.
Certainly was. He was 5,000 gold ahead of his lane opponent. We've complimented Rookie on how he's been playing, but he just got focused that hard in the early game. Really big credit to Sync Dream. We've criticized his roam, maybe going a little bit aggressive. That game, he was spot on.
Yeah, jungle MVP definitely going to Sync Dream. There's so many ganks in that mid lane, roaming in with the Jarvan, and that set up Xiaohu for success, and he's shown it time and time again. If he needs a hard carry, he will.
Yeah, he certainly will, and he was able to get in there. Very good double AD comp run by Gamtee.
And again, just not quite enough. The Kakao struggling a bit in IG. Their woes are continuing over the weekend. Can they claim the second game? We'll find out after this quick break as Game 2 between IG and Gamtee is coming.